Hey everybody, tis I, Dave Murray, the big guy at Mayniax Branding, and I just got back from a walk. Yes, you heard me right, a walk. That's right, it was fall and winter in good old Michigan, so it was chilly, windy, rainy, all that good stuff. And so I was avoiding my half-hour daily walks, and I wasn't sprinting at all. So now that weather's starting to get better, I'm starting to get more into that stuff. And I have to say, that half-hour walk kind of, it sucked. I'm not that guy. Walks aren't supposed to suck. But anyway, I figured this video, because that happened and it's not good, I would talk about the importance of health when it comes to being a solopreneur, entrepreneur, business owner. SIBO. So, let's get to it. So I'm going to break this video down into 3 sections. So the first part, I'm just going to talk about nutrition on your health. The second part, I'm going to talk about exercise on your health. And the third part, I'm going to talk about why it's so key that you need to be somebody that's being as healthy as you can possibly be. So, with that said, let's go over the nutrition part first. Okay, first things first, let's talk about nutrition now. I know, nutrition is dicey. People don't want to talk about that because they're really dogmatic about this certain way of eating or that certain way of eating, and I'm not that guy. I'm a little looser and just, whatever fits within what I'm thinking is a good idea, I'll go for. So I think most of us understand that eating well involves not eating a bunch of processed food. The vast majority should be stuff that's not processed. For me, I will say a good rule of thumb that I found for myself, and again, I will never tell anybody how they should eat. That's way above my pay grade. But the way that I judge whether or not a food is probably going to be okay is if it's a single ingredient kind of thing. So if I'm going shopping and I see steak's a single ingredient. Blueberries, single ingredient. Things like that. If you're picking up something in a package and you look at the back, chances are there's a lot more than a single ingredient. So that's how I judge for me whether or not I think it's a good idea to eat that or not. Now, I'm not perfect at all, not even close, because this past weekend I went to visit my family and I had 2 scoops of ice cream and they were delectable, so they were worth it. Okay, just getting that out there, because man, it was tasty. But if I did that every day, I'd be screwed. So, number one reason that you really need to focus on your nutrition: weight management. If you're not focusing on your weight, then things are just going to be harder and more difficult for you to do physically. It might be harder for you to get up from the chair or whatever the case may be. So remember that nutrition is a much larger part of weight management than exercise is. So it's probably what you need to really get dialed in. Now, I will say this, from what I understand, and again, take this with a grain of salt, do your own research, see what you find. From what I understand, if somebody is, say, on a diet, then they should also be lifting, because if they're just dieting to lose weight, then they're losing fat and muscle. But if they're lifting at the same time that they're doing the diet, then they're preserving more of the muscle mass, and holding on to as much muscle mass as possible is a good thing. Otherwise, sarcopenia hits when you're really old and you break a hip and die. Well, that's no fun. So another thing with the weight management deal is that it will help prevent things like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. I'm not saying it's a cure all, I'm not saying that it's going to knock out every instance of it, but it does significantly reduce your chance of getting hit with that stuff. And the third thing, numero tres, which I seem to like to say a lot, I don't know, is it strengthens your immune system. So why is that such a big deal? Well, right now, during the Rona, a strong immune system is a good thing. But on top of that, it makes it so you're not sick quite a bit. It makes it so you have far fewer sick days at the office. So there's a lot of things that nutrition helps out with. And as an entrepreneur, it's good to, show up to work and to be able to move and to not have diseases that are going to keep you out of the game. So there you go on the nutrition front. Let's talk a little bit more about the fitness now. And now we're on to the exercise portion, the fitness portion of the whole equation for, entrepreneurial health. Did I say that right? Entrepreneurial health. I'll take it. Anywho, here we go. The first benefit, and possibly my favorite benefit, is it can kind of make you happier. Studies have shown that it possibly lessens anxiety and depression and elevates your mood. Now, I'm going to say anecdotally, I don't have nearly as good a day if I'm not able to exercise as I do if I am able to exercise, and I'm not as fired up. So I can totally vouch for the mood part. Now, as far as being an entrepreneur, we're all going to end up a little anxious, possibly even a little depressed, because not everything's going to go according to plan. Things are going to take longer than you want for them to happen. And if you're exercising, you kind of quell that a little bit, which is really cool. Now, obviously, there's also muscle and bone that helps get better because you're lifting. There's cardio health that gets better because walking, sprinting, hit, whatever you're doing, cardio, good thing, obviously. And then there's also your sleep quality, which entrepreneur doesn't understand the value of sleep? We've all got to be able to chill a little bit. Otherwise, man, we're just going to be insanely exhausted, which brings me to this last one, energy levels. Exercise can actually up your energy levels. So maybe if you don't get quite enough sleep, then your energy is still going to be a little elevated because you were able to get the exercise in. So tell me, what entrepreneur, what person doesn't want those benefits? Not it. Not it. So now, why is it that I think it's so vital that we take care of our health when it comes to us being entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, business owners, SIBOs? Here's the deal. We're all out there trying to complete some kind of vision. We're all working towards this vision of helping the people in our community, of making things better for our community. And the fact is, if we're not healthy, we're not going to be at work. We're going to be sick. We're not going to be able to move. We're going to be just in a really rough state. And we're probably going to have to retire, or maybe worse, a little early because we just kind of let ourselves get hosed. And nobody wants that. The world needs your vision. And what's that going to do to your team and your clients and even your family and your friends? It's going to kind of say, well, that person used to be fun, but they let themselves get sick. They let themselves go. They don't do anything. They're not able to get out there and work and really work towards their vision. They really can only put in 2 or 3 productive hours a day. You're just a worse entrepreneur if you're not healthy. Yeah. Nobody wants to be a worse entrepreneur than they already are. Not saying anybody's really terrible or anything like that, but we should all strive to be better, I would think, especially if we're working towards a vision with helping people. So there you go, folks. That's why I think health is so important for the entrepreneurial community. That's right. I said it right that time. So that was this video. Let me know in the comments, what is it you're doing to maintain your health, to be ultra healthy so you can keep working towards your vision? Let me know. I want to know. So hey, when you're done doing that, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, do whatever you can with whatever platform you're on. And of course, if you're trying to build your brand, check out Mayniax Branding on Patreon, where I teach you how to do it for $10 a month, so you're not spending tens of thousands of dollars a year. Nobody wants that either. All right, folks, that's it. Hope everybody's having fun. Hope everybody's staying safe. Hope everybody's staying healthy. And of course, stay gutsy, gang.